Hello everybody, and welcome to a bit of a different video today. Today I'm doing this sort of unscripted review thing. It was a video format I thought I'd try out. I'm giving my thoughts as they spill out of my mouth, not through paper. Today I'm going to be looking at the new Star Wars movie, The Last Jedi, and because this is not scripted, I'm going to go out right here and say there are going to be spoilers. I am going to spoil. So if you haven't seen this movie, because I'm a nice person and it's only been out a week, spoiler warning. There will be spoilers. Go see it. So before I get into what I like and dislike, I want to just say I liked the movie. I don't claim to be a Star Wars professional or anything of that sort, but I liked the movie, and that's just my opinion. Now, there is a bit of a problem I do have with people's reasoning behind not liking this film. I mean, you do you, man. It's okay to not like this movie, but a lot of people are going out there saying that Star Wars is just a kids franchise, it's really just for kids now, it's just a stupid fairy tale thing. Did I just watch a completely different movie from you then? Because there's still some pretty heavy stuff for children in this movie, and pretty heavy to watch as someone who isn't a little child. You have to remember, guys, that you can't hold a Star Wars film to the same standards that you'd hold a Stanley Kubrick film. They do not equal each other. Star Wars is not high art. It's just a fun, adventurous runaround. And for the most part, this movie succeeded in not doing that and not doing what audiences expected, which is a good thing. People were disappointed because the movie didn't pander to them. It's weird because they gave Force Awakens crap for not taking risks, and this movie takes a huge risk in not pandering to the audience like a lot of television shows and other things do. Case in point, Doctor Who. And people gave it even more crap for it, and the huge Star Wars nerd group is divided over that. So that's all I can really say. Don't go into this movie expecting high art, and don't, as Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill himself said, don't go into these films expecting to recapture your childhood, because you'll only find disappointment if you do that. And I think a lot of people went into this movie expecting Empire Strikes Back, and that's not what they got. Okay, so now let's get into what I did like about this movie. Obviously, I liked that it did something different. It didn't pander to the audience. Star Wars is usually a run around in space or on a planet or just anywhere, and there's no real running around here except on the planet that Luke and Rey are on. It's a very character-driven plot, which a lot of Star Wars movies don't seem to be. This one's very character-driven, it's very character-centered, and it relies on the likable characters to be a good story. Now, there are some issues with this, and it doesn't do it quite right, but I do like that it broke the format and didn't do what audiences expected. Obviously, that caused some controversy, but in the long run, I think people are going to look back on it fondly. The Porgs weren't annoying. I was thinking they were going to be annoying, like terribly annoying. Obviously, there are people who are going to be annoyingly obsessed with them, but the Porgs themselves, the actual creatures in the movie, are not annoying, which is a huge, huge plus. I also liked the dynamic between Rey and Kylo Ren in this film. Basically, Snoke bridges their minds together so they can see each other every once in a while and talk to each other, and they get to know each other and sort of sympathize with each other, and that leads to a very, very heavy moment towards the end. I think it's towards the end. It's towards the end of the film. And basically after that moment, the story does not stop. Like, that entire, I guess I'd say it's the third act. The entire third act of the film is like, fuck, dude, fuck. What else did I like? I liked how Snoke was not anybody we knew before. Snoke dies in this film. He gets sliced in half by Kylo Ren, and he's just a nobody. He's just another Dark Lord who wants power and fails, basically. He's no one special. He's nobody we knew before this film. Is just Snoke. There's something else I liked about Kylo Ren. I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah. In this film, Kylo Ren's true backstory is revealed, but from multiple perspectives. This is a story you get to hear multiple times in the film from different perspectives. The two biggest times you hear it are from Luke and Kylo Ren. Basically, I'll start with Kylo Ren's version, since that's the version that came first in the film. Ben was a powerful pupil, right? And Luke knew that, and it scared him. The power within Ben Solo scared him. And one night, Ben woke up to see Luke holding a lightsaber over him, and Kylo Ren, knowing or thinking that Luke was going to kill him, sort of slices up with his lightsaber, and they have a huge battle, and Kylo Ren brings the building down on them. Now, from Luke's perspective, he senses a great power growing within Kylo Ren, and it does scare him to death. And for an instant, he lights his lightsaber and is about to kill him, but then sort of takes the saber away, sort of holds it and starts crying, sort of like, and he explains this. It was an instinct. He didn't actually want to kill Ben. He was sort of like, what is happening to me in that moment? And that's when Ben woke up and lit up his lightsaber and brought down the building on Luke. So Luke failed, and that's something that a lot of people wouldn't expect. And I liked this, the way it was shot and the way it was done story-wise, because it toys with there isn't really a good or evil. It toys with that idea in a sense, because Kylo Ren saw Luke as the bad guy there, but he wasn't. Not really. I mean, he was wrong, and he knew it, and he didn't kill Kylo Ren, and he was sorry for it, but Kylo Ren didn't know that. He saw a murderer who was standing above him, someone he trusted, and he had betrayed him by trying to kill him. So it's all a matter of perspective. And I liked the way it was shot, because when you hear Kylo Ren's version of the story and Luke is standing over Kylo Ren, Luke's got these dark rings around his eyes, like he's some sort of corrupt monster. And when you hear Luke's side of the story, though he does look he looks really, really distressed about what's going on. He doesn't look evil, so it's very cool, in my opinion. That was pretty awesome. Yeah, Luke fails, again, breaking the format. Luke really isn't the hero here. Luke done fucked up, guys. Let's not deny that. He done fucked up. There's nothing more to say there. He really messed up big time. And this film is sort of like his redemption, and it's really, really cool because we get a redemption story in there. Now to the aspects I didn't like, because those are all the big aspects I really did like. Kylo Ren, Luke, and Rey are the aspects of this film I didn't like. And as you'll see on the actual little poster thing in the video, Finn, Leia, and Poe are a lot smaller on the cover. And their subplots are not as good. They are very character driven and they don't work. Poe's got this subplot about learning not to... The lesson there is don't act without thinking. Basically, at the beginning of the film, Poe Dameron is... He's sent out to destroy a bunch of cannons on a Star Destroyer, and then, against Leia's orders, he proceeds to bomb the Star Destroyer. And while he's doing something awesome over here, like 15 other people over here are all being shot and killed. And Poe is relieved of his duty as commander, demoted to captain, and that's really his whole plot. He's got to deal with not being in the know, and he's got this purple-haired woman who she knows what she's doing, and Poe is acting without thinking, and it just doesn't go well for Poe. And that sort of connects to Finn's subplot. These subplots are not enough to carry the parts of the movie that they should be able to carry, okay? Let me just say that before I get into Finn's subplot. Like, they seem interesting, but no, they're not. Trust me. Finn's subplot is basically the Resistance fleet in this film is stuck with very little fuel, and the First Order can track them through light speed. So there's no escape for them, and the solution here is Finn and this other new character named Rose go off and get somebody to break them in to Snoke's ship and destroy the tracker. And again, not enough to carry the film. We go to a planet that's really, really, really boring and not fun at all. Now, luckily, these two subplots, though they are a big part of the film and they do make definite drawbacks, they do make for definite drawbacks. The Luke, Kylo Ren, and Rey plot is the biggest. That's the major plot line of the film, and the two subplots sort of almost connect with it, but not really. I mean, at least we get a cool battle between Finn and Phasma, which is like damn at the end of the Finn Rose subplot, but no, the subplots just really, really didn't do it for me, and really should have been shortened. This film, I will not deny, was way too long, and I put that down to the subplots getting quite a bit of focus. Again, not as much focus as the actual plot of the film, but they did get a bit too much focus, and the movie did not need to be 2.5 hours long. I think that's it, really. That's all I didn't really like. Those two subplots, which, again, those two subplots together make up about half of the film. The other half is the really, really awesome plot with Rey, Luke, and Kylo Ren. So, like, half of the film is mediocre while the other half is fucking awesome, but the fucking awesome part really, really is really worth it. So, what should I give this movie? I don't... See, this is the tricky part when you start thinking about it, because there's a lot wrong with this movie, but there's also so much good about it. Like, you just heard my opinion there. There was a lot more I liked about this movie that I didn't, than what I didn't like. So, in that case, I'm going to give this movie though it does sort of kill my not critic side to say this, the childish part that just loves a bit of Star Wars every once in a while. I'm going to give this movie a 7.5 out of 5 because looking at it from a critical perspective and in a mixture of a critical and opinionated perspective, it's more than a 5. But about half the movie is terrible, and I can't quite give it but I do like it. But because of that critical side, I can't quite give it an 8. So it would be a 7 out of... Oh, I said 7 out of 5 earlier. I'm sorry, 7 out of 10. Or a 7.5 out of 10. So, yeah. That's my opinion on Star Wars The Last Jedi. Anyway, I've got a quick update at the end of the video here for the channel. So, the plan that I talked about in my last update is it has fallen apart a bit. I'm not going to be able to get the Child Prodigy out by the end of the year. It's just not going to happen, and I don't think I'll be able to get my Season 12 review video out by the end of the year either. But after this video, there is one more video that I know will be coming out tomorrow, and that's on Christmas. My Christmas special called Forever Christmas. I hope you guys enjoy that. Anyway, that's just a quick update. So yeah, that was my unscripted review of Star Wars The Last Jedi. My non-critical side recommends it to you all and is like, go see this movie, it's so awesome. While the more critical side is like, see this movie, but don't expect it to be A Clockwork Orange or The Shining or The Empire Strikes Back again. So yeah, there's my opinion. Take it or leave it. Bye, guys.